Hey guys, this is Adrian. Um, I just moved here to the fellowship here in Excelsior Springs. I had a dream the first night I was here. I wanted to share it with you guys. I have it written down here. I want to. Hopefully, I wouldn't remember everything off the top of my head, so I'm going to read it off of here. Okay. So, in the start of my dream, I was running through a city while high up government officers were chasing after me. As I would run place to place, everyday people I would pass by would turn out to be undercover gang stopper type agents who would also try to capture me by surprise. We ran through downtown areas with skyscrapers and also through neighborhoods. The chase lasted a very long time because I kept barely getting away. Finally, at one point, dozens of them were closing in on me. I decided to jump in the air to get away. I remember the hand of one of these men in suits reaching into the air to grab me. Somehow, as I believed, I was able to go even higher into the air, to the point I was practically flying away. I was able to escape that one last time until while I was flying between skyscrapers, a few dozen feet in the air, a large bright flying object of light, similar to a UFO, flew above me and zapped me away into it. I knew that using that was their last resort and that they had finally captured me. Everything forward on in the dream was crisp, clear, and slow paced. I woke up on an examination table under bright lights. As my eyes focused, I could see through the light, and there were two men in professional clothing looking down at me, analyzing and discussing me. I immediately knew I had been here before, and that it was something you forget when you leave. It wasn't just a different place, it was a different dimension or plane. I also knew that these two entities were real and not just part of a dream. They were either higher up demons or fallen angels that were working against me. I remember receiving information from them without them even speaking. I heard them say things like welcome back and other things to make me feel comfortable about being there, like this was just routine. Both of them I felt were homosexuals, but not in a flamboyant way. I could sense the spirit in them. I knew that they were assigned to me and were making sure I wasn't straying too far off the path they wanted me to go on and programmed me to go on. They were very casual and calm about it, like they were just a doctor doing their job. They let me get up and sit down at a small table with them as they went over their notes. I knew to just play along for now. At this point, a girl walks in to give them something. I could tell she was under their control. She looked half conscious, like someone on a high dose of Percocet or other prescription drugs. I knew she would be dead soon. After she left the room, they took me outside into a hallway. I was in a huge experimental type facility. There were more people in professional clothing walking around. There were also more people like me, however, they had no knowledge or awareness of what was really going on. They were under a delusion and mind controlled. They killed some of the people in front of me, the ones who didn't obey like they wanted them to. I felt that they were indirectly threatening me. Like if I don't do what they want, how they want, they would take me out too. A woman also in professional attire joined us. They took me outside the facility on a large spacious balcony where I could tell we were very, very high up on a mountain far away from any human civilization. It was like a red rock mountain. I'm not sure if there were any trees, it might have not even been earth. They also brought four women out there with me. All of them were wholly or partly naked. The entities left them there with me alone for a moment. Two of them started kissing each other. I think that the entities wanted me to lust after them or join them. After nothing happened, they came back and took us all inside to a corner of a hallway. The woman in the professional attire pulled out a gun and killed two of the women. Then she gave the gun to one of the other two left. She told her to kill the other one. Thinking she'll survive, she does what she says and kills the other girl. Then the woman takes the gun back from her and kills her also. At this point, I knew that regardless of whether you obeyed or not, they kill you anyways in the end, when it pleasures them or when you are no longer any use to them. After this, they took me to a lunchroom where everyone was being fed. I went through the line, received my food, and sat down with three other people. I knew that the entities wanted me to socialize with them and hopefully get normalized to the situation through them. I don't remember eating or conversating much at all with them. However, inside this lunchroom is where I saw multiple people with a mark or implant. This is what you would receive when you decided to permanently serve them and finalize their ownership over you. Lastly, I'm not sure how I got there, but I was at the home of a brother in Christ who used to minister online and lives in the same city I'm from. He was showing me around his house. I could see he was also under the influence of entities. However, he wasn't as deluded as the people I had seen before. It seemed he thought he was living decently. and was trying to have me accept his kind of lifestyle. I felt as though I felt as though those entities had allowed him to have his home as long as he stayed complacent. At one point, he was telling me some of the sins he was involved in. I think that the entities wanted me to see someone who was also a Christian like me, but was doing okay under their dominion. His house was not in the place they took me to, but rather on earth. Somehow I was being temporarily shown it. The beings hadn't released me from their dimension yet. The dream ends with me in his front yard thinking that I couldn't wait until I leave that place and they place me back on earth, because I knew that the moment they did, I was going to run straight to Jesus in his full grip. I knew I had to be utterly and completely in the Father's will without any foot in the world, because that is the only safe place to be in. Then I woke up.
And what was your interpretation of all that?
Well, I just felt like after the dream when I woke up, I just felt like I heard things like in my head, like that's the beast system. I felt like that was like the mass delusion the world is under right now, or maybe it's coming. I knew that that I had to get as far away from that as possible, and I felt like it was a sign of God to me also, to be fully in Him. What else? I don't know. That's about it. I mean, there's parts like I was thinking the high up mountain part could mean that I was in a high place. That's what I was thinking, because I saw that we were very high up in a mountain. Because it says demons are in high places. And then obviously I feel like I was showing that, like, no matter what in that lifestyle, you're gonna end up dead. That's another thing that stood out. And that some people might not look bad, but they're really complacent. They are complacent, and that ultimately ends up with the same result as the rest of them.
So it really is about no compromises and surrendering all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the first night that you got here. You'd been planning on moving here for a while, and you've been here before, but those were always sort of temporary. But this time you've quit your job and whatever, and planning on staying for however long the Lord says, I guess. I think it was certainly the Lord reinforcing that the decision was the right thing to really surrender all and be not be complacent about your faith or whatever. So thank you for that dream, and thank the Lord for the dream, and we hope it'll be a blessing to somebody else out there.
All right.
In the name of Jesus. Amen.
Jesus, amen.